guess this is about time to start. Let's see. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. It's 9 o'clock. It's time to start. Oh wait, shit. I got the timeline up. Hold on. Let me get to the first segment, I guess. Let me just chill for a second, let some people get in, and then I guess I will get right into segments and such. Let me just, yeah, the jazz, fucking great. It's, I got this one here. I'll link it in chat. I got this one like thing I've been using, just like coffee shop music, like coffee shop jazz, whatever. It's great for just like the background. It's in chat just in case it's wanted. I should probably link it in the description. Let me link it. Hold on. Background music. Yeah, it's a nice contrast between it's a nice contrast between the music and the content of the streams usually. I try to keep them a little light because I'm a bit of a culture warrior. God damn, got a big ass pimple right here. That camera's not doing me any favors. God damn, bruh. I guess that'll just have to live for the next week on my channel. That's great. But I'm gonna let some more people get in. We got 3 likes, 2 viewers. I don't know how that one works, but apparently it does. Let me see. I'm gonna try to see. Oh, that is a completely different tab. If I can get 1 more viewer in, maybe. Try and get up to 3 concurrents before I start segments. That'd be flippin' epic, I think. I don't know if like scheduling the streams actually helps with like viewership or not. I'm assuming it does, just because it gives people like a thing, you know? It gives people a thing. Oh hell yeah, I've had this background for like a year, maybe more than that. I think the scheduling stream helps people with like, okay, I can make this a part of my day. Especially when it's later in the day. Shit, I barely made it. I was out until 8:30 or so. And I got home and I immediately started stream prep. Well, like I used the restroom first, but I pretty much immediately started stream prep. So I think it's time to get into segments. Let me oh god, I got this coffee cup in the way. Is that visible on screen? I don't think it is. It's not. Okay. Let's hit the record button. This is a this is a 50-minute video. I'm going to play Minecraft during it. This is a 50-minute video. I'm not gonna be able to fucking just sit there and listen to her talk. I am going to play Minecraft during this video. I guess I can just pull up chat on my phone. Yeah, that'll work. And now I have no clue if if my stream is fucking up, because I don't have a third monitor and I don't have any type of way to look at it. But CurseForge, I can play Minecraft. I can just go full. Ooh, should I go full Keffals and do Raft? I can go full Keffals and play Raft. That's a thing I can do. I think I'll just stick with Minecraft though. But let me get this pulled up and I will jump right into segments. Because the way modded Minecraft is, it's very finicky. And I just gotta let it happen, pretty much. I gotta let modded Minecraft do its thing before I do anything else. Which is fun, which is great fun. Fantastic fun, even. I've been doing crazy craft. I might move. I might move on to all the mods. All the mods 8. But for now it's crazy. For now it's crazy craft. Oh hey, we got a third live viewer. Wowie zowie. Ew. That was gross. We got 3 people in chat and stream has barely started. That's cool. What's up? Hello, Bluestone. I don't think I've seen you here. Is this your first stream? I think it is. I've been getting a lot of like new subscribers recently. I'm having trouble recognizing some people. Like, look, I jumped from like, I know it doesn't seem like a huge amount but I think this is my hell yeah, I think it's my first. Dope. I don't have like a huge amount of subscribers, so I notice when my subscriber count goes up. I'm like, oh shit, new subscriber. And I think in the past 2 days I've gone from 160 to like 172, which is insane. That's awesome. I don't think I've gotten like that much positive engagement since my Jesse Gender video first dropped. And honestly, I think it's because of the Jesse Gender video and also the Soul Bunny video. I think those videos are aging just perfectly. And more people are coming around to realizing that I'm right on this. I think those videos are aging great. I think I might revisit the Jessie Gender thing, just because a lot has happened with her and her situation. Like, she got exposed as an animal abuser. That whew. That one was bad. She got exposed as an animal abuser and tried to blame toxic masculinity on it, which I think it's just you're a bad person, Jesse. I don't think it's toxic masculinity. And the like wave of I guess hate would be the best word. I'm sure there's a better word, but the wave of hate that Cornbread Tube has gotten lately has also been pretty beneficial for me. I'm profiting off of it. I'm definitely profiting off these people's downfall. Not gonna sugarcoat it. Not gonna act like I'm not, you know? Let me make sure this is a good recommend. Yeah, this is a pretty good recommended section. Look like we need some people to. I do. God. You know, I think actually I could just go in to be like, these are my ideas, these are my ideas, these are my ideas, these are my ideas, but frankly, I think it's more fun and more entertaining to do pseudo drama content Like, I'm not glorifying this. But frankly, it's just more fun. I don't really like making super dry content because, like, I'm sure if I really did the research and read the theory that I could make very good dry content. It's just frankly not something I want to do though. I don't want to make super dry content. I'd rather make entertaining content. God damn. Oh shit, Minecraft froze. Okay, there we go. So now that Minecraft's good, and I can... So, let's start segments. Let's get this on the road. We got 4 people here before segments even start. That's crazy. That's the most I've ever had. So let me start recording. All right. Okay, y'all. So today we have somebody named Rose Mulet. Now, Rose Mulet has recently come under scrutiny from me and more famously, people like Keffals, for her very, very rabid defense of Sasha, who, if you don't know who Sasha is, basically she is a serial sexual assaulter. Some have called her a rapist. I don't know enough to call her a rapist, but I am going to say allegedly she is a serial sexual assaulter who many people have negative experiences with. Many people have the worst things to say about her, and frankly, they're pretty substantiated claims, and very few people have come out in support of her. One of these being Rose Mulet. Now, Rose Mulet, I'm not here to kink shame, but what I am here to do is to shame, just to blanket shame, and I'm gonna shame this. Your kink, a victim has said she was raped by her directly. Okay, and then she's a rapist. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued. She is allegedly a rapist. Allegedly, a rapist. But, Rose Mulet, who has come out in defense of her, has said, "Consent is stupid. Rape is natural and necessary for a happy and healthy society. Why is the modern world so miserable? Because rapists are treated as criminals instead of cherished for their masculinity. Fuck feminism. I wish men weren't so scared of raping me. Hashtag make rape legal." This is a woman who also has said that she, during movies with friends, has fallen asleep, well, faked falling asleep, to encourage people to rape her. I'm not here to kink shame. However, whenever your kink influences your politics, I'm here to shame that. If she had a rape kink, and I would think it's a little weird, however, I wouldn't shame her. However, she has a rape kink, and it is affecting her politics, and it is affecting her view of the world. So therefore, I'm here to shame her. Now that we're done with this, we can get into the craft, okay? Actually, let me make sure of something. Okay, now that we're through with that, we can get into the craft. So what we have here is a video. Oh shit, I gotta full screen it. a 50-minute video responding to Keffals, claiming Sasha's innocence. I haven't watched this video. I don't pre-watch content, or at least I usually don't. I try not to. I have pre-watched one of the videos, but not this one. So apparently she has scathing evidence that Sasha is innocent. And in fact, the multiple victims of Sasha are all just lying because Keffals told them to, I guess. But let's get into it.
So Keffals has just released a video about exposing a predator in the trans community. She did another one of these like 7 months ago, and now she did another one. And you know what? I'm kind of like, I know people are very on the fence about Keffals. Some people really like her, some people don't like her. But actually, I'm on much better terms on her now than I was in the past.
Yeah, I've seen people just flat up dismiss these arguments just because Keffals is saying them. And I'm glad she isn't so incredibly delusional that she's fallen into that just anti-Keffals drama, or train, I guess, and can actually somewhat think for herself. But still pretty stupid, I think, unless this video has like the best evidence ever.
And so I was interested to watch this video, although I already have like a few red flags about this whole thing. The idea of painting trans people as predators in the environment where there's a lot of people painting trans people as predators. But
okay, she's not painting trans people as predators. She is painting, well, she is saying, she is making the claim with substantiated evidence that this trans person is a predator. I'm already predisposed to dislike this video just based on that language alone. I hate when people invoke the monolithic language like Soul Bunny did. Soul Bunny did the same thing, where instead of arguing for herself and for her points, she just says, oh yeah, well, monolith, I'm a monolith. You can't argue with me because my arguments are monolithic and they're reflective of an entire community. You can't say that. Of course, there are going to be trans people who are sexual predators. There's nothing wrong with saying that, and there's nothing wrong with exposing people who are sexual predators and just so happen to be trans. The wrong part comes when you say that a person is a sexual predator because they are trans, which obviously, Keffals, being a trans woman, has no reason to say that.
But then there's the argument of, you know, if you're silent about this and you don't speak out, or is it making it worse, you know? Is it more important that we do call these people out so they don't think that we're predators?
Yes.
I mean...
Well, to be clear, they're still going to think you're predators, and they're still going to be wrong. However, there's nothing wrong in the slightest with pointing out that some people are predators. It would be like, if fucking Adolf Hitler, you know, kind of stacked language here, but it would be like if Adolf Hitler were to come out and say that no Aryan person has ever sexually assaulted another person. Like, of course he wants the Aryans to be painted as good, but he can't really say that no Aryan has ever sexually assaulted somebody because that would just be untrue. I mean, Hitler was a serial liar, and I'm making a pretty flawed analogy, but I think you get my point.
It just reminds me a lot of like the whole Blair White thing. I'm sure you guys know a lot about Blair White, right? But she makes like, here's trans predator Christian, trans predator, I don't know who that is, Jessica Lee, trans predator, another trans predator, trans predator, trans predator. And it's when you do, people...
Well, Christian is a predator who just so happens to be trans.
Please understand, when you make enough of these videos, right, you're kind of
not defending Blair White at all here.
Coming off as everyone else is a predator, right? Look at how many trans people are predators, but I'm one of the good ones. I've always made this comparison in the past. It'd be like if D'Angelo Wallace made a bunch of videos about black people raping like white girls. You know what
Sure, I guess. I mean, you're into that, but sure. I don't necessarily disagree with the framing here. I just think it's kind of weird.
I'm saying it's the kind of content that is just like, you're making it harder for your own community. I get what you're trying to do.
How is she making it harder for her own community? A healthy community should be able to critique itself within itself. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
But you're really just playing into the hateful narrative. And even though you're trans and you're making these videos, and you know, the obvious implication being because I'm trans, I'm obviously not being transphobic, you're spreading transphobic narratives towards your audience, and you're kind of making an association with, oh, a lot of trans people, this small group that doesn't have a lot of people in it, there's a shocking amount of predators within this community. And I'm not typically a fan of anything that can
She's not saying that though. She's just saying that Sasha is a predator, which she is. Allegedly. Allegedly, she's a predator.
contributes to that narrative. So already going in, I'm like side-eyeing this, but I'm gonna give it a fair shot, right? I wanted to highlight this comment here. It's one of the top comments. We as queer people need to call out this behavior in our communities, regardless of how much the conservatives try to paint us all as predators. We need to let everyone know that we aren't all like that and we don't tolerate the behavior. We need to protect our own, the victims as well, because many more of us are likely to be the victims of abuse. And it's true. Trans people are so much more likely than like other, groups of people to become the victims of like abuse and rape. I mean, if you see the statistics, the amount of trans people that get raped is alarming. And it comes at a time where like trans people are seen as undesirable and all of this stuff that a lot of people like to. It's a huge problem, and I don't want the message of this to be that we should just ignore this or sweep it under the rug. That's not.
Like, she's the type to make it onto a Blair White video to paint trans people as bad. I don't know. I think Blair would try more to appeal to her incredibly stupid audience and use a more sort of obvious example. I don't know. I agree with the sentiment, but I think the example here is too niche.
Not what I'm saying, but at the same time, we don't also need to highlight every single situation of this.
Yes, we do. Yeah, fuck, I'm not trans. But yes, y'all do. Any community, fucking the Smash Bros community. Any community that has any wish, any hope, any hope of being successful should critique itself.
And when you highlight these negative situations of trans people so much that they become the most famous groups of the trans community, it just spreads the message. I just don't like the implications of that. And I'm sure you guys can understand what I'm saying here.
Egg allegation started, not engaging.
But whatever, right? So this is an hour-long video, right? I'm obviously not gonna watch the whole thing on stream. You guys.
So her argument is, this video is too long for me. I'm not gonna watch it. That would take effort. No, I'm not gonna watch this whole video. But I'm gonna watch this whole video.
You guys can watch this in your own time. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. I'm only gonna focus on the stuff about Tally, as that was the main, focus of the video, and all of this other stuff. There's just a lot more evidence when it comes to Tally. So I'm gonna give my honest evaluation of the situation.
Damn,
and I want to start from the statement that Sasha made after Keffals' video. For people coming from Keffals' video, hello there. 2 people falsely accused me of rape. Those 2 people and I have entered into a legal, notarized stay away agreement where neither of us shall make derogatory remarks about the other online. Cause other to do the same, must remain away from each other, and not attempt to contact each other directly or indirectly. A criminal investigation was launched at the request of one of the parties, and the detective told me, this seems like a pretty cut and dry false allegation case. That's not the paraphrase, that's a direct quote.
So, the funny thing is, Sasha has proven herself to be self-represented legally. I'm not just making this up. She has proven herself to be legally self-represented. I highly doubt that she has gone to any sort of legal help. She has sought any legal help. I just think this falls flat on its face. I don't think she's being truthful here. I don't think she has a reason to be truthful. I think she has a lot of reasons to lie because she is a rapist, and a lot of the reasons to not be truthful. So I do not trust what she says in the slightest.
Everything I did with both parties is consensual. Keffals has a grudge against me because of I revealed she was an addiction, was using internet drama to make content that will further fund her addiction. I have to assume that her video about me is another attempt to do the same and is direct retaliation due to our conflict earlier this year.
The thing is, exposing Keffals for having a drug addiction, which she was actively trying to seek help for, is a bad thing that you shouldn't do. A drug addict is a highly, highly feeble person. Fuck. Oh no. Oh no. Drug addicts, not necessarily the most stable people. And exposing to the world that they are a drug addict could have incredibly bad results. That's not a good thing to do. And it should really be obvious to anybody with half of a brain that maybe a person who is hurting, who is very clearly not in the best state of mind, should maybe be treated with like a slight bit of respect and decency. But for some reason on the quote-unquote left, we treat drug addiction like it's some fucking Pokemon card that you just collect and, oh, it's a little novelty, oh, it's a little part about you. No, drug addiction is fucking serious, and I'm tired of people thinking and saying that it's just this trivial thing. I've had friendships dissolve over drug addiction. I've had people that I know just fall completely into drug addiction. I've had friends of friends die to drug addiction. It's not a funny thing. Shut the fuck up. It's not a little novelty. It's not a little cute thing. Shut the fuck up. I already lost any sort of charity I had for her.
Again, she is attempting to use her platform to ruin the life of another trans person rather than accept the consequence of her actions.
She is attempting to ruin the life of a rapist, allegedly. A rapist who just so, shut the fuck up, Alexa, who just so happens to be trans.
This matter isn't Twitter's business, and I advise you all to, well, yeah. So, first of all, my opinion is this. I don't really want to mention, I mean, there was some mention at the beginning of Keffals' video about this, but the comments she made about her addiction, it wasn't right. It wasn't cool, but it's also...
Just saying, like, oh, that was kind of cringe, is an incredible understatement. It is a vile thing to do. It is a terrible thing to do to somebody who is in a feeble state. If you were to go up to somebody who is homeless and just fucking be like, haha, you're homeless, fuck you, you're less than me. That's basically what you did. You went up to a person who was very obviously hurting a large amount, who was planning to kill themselves. And you made fun of her and you exposed her for planning her own suicide. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? That's not just like a mistake. That's not a mistake that normal people make. That is an incredibly fucked up and terrible thing to do.
Not really relevant to the whole thing. I don't think that just because someone sends you mean comments that's gonna... I have at least good enough faith to Keffals that I don't think she's making this video out of a grudge. Like, just because someone sends her mean messages, she's not gonna be like, ha, this person's a rapist, right? That to me is a little, like, far.
A little. Sure, man.
Here are some good comments and points made below. The cops agreed with me that I am not a rapist is a pretty great argument. I am sure cops don't have a history of perpetuating and covering up sexual assault. And a few other interesting comments here. Out of 1,000 sexual assaults, 975 will walk away free. And this is typically because it's really hard to prove a rape case, like, you know, after a certain time period. There's really not much evidence, and it goes off of hearsay. And we have a critical criminal system that's innocent until proven guilty. So it is kind of unfortunate.
Kind of a tangent here, but I do believe that innocent until proven guilty is the correct thing to do. You know, it's the right way. Doesn't mean it's a good way, you know? I'm sure there's better ways we can think of, but as of right now, it's kind of the best we got.
That, you know, nothing is done in the vast majority of cases, and I think we can all agree that the situation, you know, where everything is on Twitter isn't amazing. It'd be nice if there were, but it's hard. Like, you know, everyone talks about wanting a better system, but it's really tricky when you think about it, because it does leave for exploitation. And, you know, does 1 or 2 false cases per 1,000 or per 100 or whatever that would do, does that justify, you know, all of the potential, you know, rapists who would be imprisoned? Is it worth it to have a few innocent people locked up at the expense? I personally don't think so.
I would agree here. It's not worth it to have innocent people killed. It is never worth it to have innocent people killed. I completely agree here. However, I do not like the framing of trying to... I don't think she's purposely trying, but I do think she is trying to sort of say like, oh, these allegations are obviously false by bringing up, you know, false rape stuff. But I don't think she's purposely trying to do that. However, it is how it comes off as.
But obviously some people will disagree. Some people will say that there are barely any false accusations. I would disagree. They definitely...
Yes, there are barely any false accusations, actually. The reason you think that there isn't barely any is because you want to be raped. There are barely any false accusations of rape. The fact that people can have evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence alluding to the fact that they got raped, but not necessarily out front saying they got raped, merely alluding to the fact, and they have a lot of things that allude to said fact, you know, shows how common that rape is. It's a very little amount of rape allegations that are untrue, or at least not even based in truth. A lot of them, even the false ones, are based in truth. Maybe it's not rape, maybe it's sexual assault, but a lot of them are based in truth.
Definitely do exist, and it sucks that people, and what really bothers me is that there's so many legit cases of rape, and the people who do falsely accuse just make it that much harder. To me, my honest opinion is a lot of the false accusation stuff that you see isn't even really false accusations. It's more like people agree on a general sense that something happened, but it's a different misinterpretation of events that fall into play. And when people talk about false accusations, I think like 90% of the time...
kind of unrelated, I fucking hate the way she says accusations. Just say it like a normal person, please, God.
This is what they mean. I think it's very rare that someone just blatantly lies about an encounter that didn't happen. I think the majority of the time, you know, one party maybe didn't convey, you know, their intentions very clearly, but believes that the other person acted forward aggressively or in a way that they didn't consent. I mean, there's just, those to me are a lot of the confusion, what gets called false accusations. That's what I see a lot of the time. So, I mean, I find this to be an interesting response, but let's get into some of the stuff going on here. All right, it's time to say some shit. It's from Tasha. Tolly is friends with, yeah, these are two, this is another person who called out,
friends to fuck her, and I'm just supposed to fucking accept it like it's nothing.
You're calling someone a sex pest.
And then I made content with Tally.
So
I even warned her.
Oh my god, dude. This is a terrible video. What the fuck? Leftist audio, man. It's a real thing.
Tally.
Sorry, I did not mean that for that to play. I don't understand it because it's like you guys all do OnlyFans work. So how are you calling? I don't know. It's now Tally.
Just because you are a sex worker doesn't mean you can't be raped. You dumbass.
I was trying to claim I raped her. I had 100% consent from her the entire time. She was doing this in order to get even with me for warning everyone about Lily. IDK what these plan on doing. Okay, I want to defend her. Let's go into here. Found her when she was at a 3-digit following. I noticed we hung out. I tried incorporating her into the Twitter doll, such a bad idea. Because the vibes I got bad so fast. She meets an even more clouded girl, ditches me for her because she's got 100K. Then she signs to a... Why does this keep happening? Then she signs to a porn agency and then does a collab with said clouded girl. By the way, these clips, I'm pretty sure are the ones Keffals mentioned in her video where she like yells and stuff. It's not very mature, but I mean, if it is fake, if it is a false allegation, then I can understand the anger, but it doesn't really make you look good. God content isn't owned by them. It was an agency. She was trying to get dozens of other trans Twitter girls. Let's see. Is there really anything of value here? Yeah, I can't divulge any more information out of respect for the victims. It just seems like I don't know.
About Lily, even.
Oh God. This is so weird. This is so interesting. I mean, most of these comments are like on her side, which is very different from what I'm seeing from the Keffals stuff. This is so weird from her. From what it seems, it definitely seems like false allegations. I'm so sorry you're going through this.
Of course, Sasha's community is gonna be on her side, dipshit. That's how it works. Communities are fucking stupid, except mine. My community's great.
I used to be mutuals with her. She's incredibly manipulative and problematic and made fun of me for being raped as a child. Now, absolutely gross person. If this is true, then that's like really bad and insane. And my gosh, that'd be crazy. Obviously, there's no proof. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, take these people on face value. But, oof. Like I said, and here's this. IDK if it's just me. But isn't it weird that Telly is trans but still calls herself a femboy? I don't know everyone's personal like feelings, but don't most trans people get repulsed when they get misgendered? A lot of trans sex workers call themselves.
Yeah, that is fucking weird. That is pretty weird.
Femboys.
What does Rose even get out of this? She isn't defending Sasha here as hard as she was on Twitter. I think what she's trying to do here is, she's trying to have a hot take on Twitter and then give a more nuanced take on a platform where she can more accurately speak her mind. That being said, the more nuanced take is still pretty stupid.
Market themselves.
Hey, Mariners at Diamondbacks. Go D-backs. I'm my second team. But anyways.
You guys know how I feel about the femboy stuff. I'm not a fan personally. It does weird me out. And as someone who's trans,
that being said, I don't think the what's it called? The prospect of a feminine male is transphobic in theory. Of course, it can be transphobic in practice, but I don't think it's transphobic as a concept.
Myself, I just get really bad vibes, and if you're calling yourself a femboy but you're trans, you're just being openly transphobic to yourself. And if you're calling yourself a femboy and you're not,
and I do think the way Sasha uses it is transphobic, but I'm not trans, so I'm not really that engaged into that discourse, so I'm open to be proven wrong about that, but I do believe Sasha is using that in a transphobic manner.
Trans, and then you're kind of like, I don't know, this Tally person, if she's genuinely a femboy and not a trans woman, then I do find that to be pretty weird that she's like playing into the trans community. It is very sus behavior to me. But
she is trans.
I'm gonna move on from that. I mentioned this before. Let's see. All right, here's another one of Sasha's responses. I have no idea what she's talking about. We didn't even have sex, which I'll get to this later. They did have, so what she's referring to is they did make content together, right? That was pretty sexual.
Oh wait,
they didn't have like full-on intercourse, I'm pretty sure, but they did some sexual stuff on camera.
So here's how it went down, according to the victim. So her and Sasha did not have penetrative sex. I believe. I haven't watched the statement since it came out, so I might be wrong. But her and Sasha did not have penetrative sex. However, Sasha did at multiple times pressure her to. Sasha at multiple times fucking just pressured her, when she was in the shower, Sasha pressured her to have sex there. When they were on a bed, Sasha was pressuring her to have sex there. It's a repeated pattern of behavior.
So I feel like the acting like you didn't have sex is kind of a lie, but I mean, it's not completely untrue. She came over to my place, we made content, I ordered a pizza, and then we played on the Switch, and then we left. Why would you post content we made consensually, keep it up and then delete it? This is bullshit. Texting me on Monday, and I've always been respectful of her comfort levels. Is it okay to post videos like this if it's cropped like this, asking for your personal comfort level? Here's another one here. I posted a picture, figured we could chat briefly, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna be pretty much posted. Okay, cool. Were you gonna make any more Instagram photos? Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. I posted a tiny short clip on Reddit, like 3 seconds long, but I deleted it this morning. Oh, okay. Going forward, please only share photos and videos where my bottom half is covered, please. Aye, Captain, and then there's the salute sign. And it's just part of the brand and my personal comfort. Thank you for understanding. Nah, yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so in these screenshots, Sasha seems to be like, you know, pretty understanding about the personal consent, although it seems like she posted, I hear what happened is that she originally posted one video with the bottom included, and she was like, hey, can you not do that? And she was like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that that was a mistake. My bad, I won't do it in the future. And then she never did it again. So she realized the boundaries after, you know, this text, and then deleted the post promptly, and then proceeded to not make that mistake again. You could argue that that is a pretty bad thing to do. It was a genuine mistake.
It is a bad thing. It is a bad thing to do, yeah. But however, I do believe that it was a genuine mistake. However, it was still bad.
You know, it doesn't negate the whole situation. But anyway, the reason why Tally is saying this because she's friends. Oh, I mentioned that earlier. Okay, here we go. She's talking about the sex act. She might not have been comfortable with oral sex and only consented with the sharing of the images afterwards, which of course wouldn't be consent. I wasn't there, obviously, but clear expression of wanting oral sex would clear this up. And then Sasha responded, I asked her, can I blow you off for content? And she said yes. I did 2 to 3 takes of me blowing her. At no point during that time did she say no. Never revoked consent. We should probably see evidence of that. So I'm gonna get to the clips later. From the clips that I've seen, Tally doesn't really say anything that like debunks this, you know what I'm saying? From what Tally said, and I'm gonna get into exactly what she said in these clips later, it's really the situation where Tally had all of these feelings internally, but didn't externalize them. And this is where these situations get really complicated, right? Because...
Yeah, of course, she didn't externalize them. She didn't externalize them when, she got into the shower and said she clearly looked traumatized and clearly looked sad. Yeah, totally.
Is if you have all these feelings, but like there's no reasonable way for the other person to truly know what's going on, you know, are they to blame? Obviously, we all can say like, hey, the best thing to do is to like be in touch, be open with someone, create an environment where people are allowed or okay to say these things. And that's obviously all true, right? But at the same time, you know...
That's kind of unrealistic, though. There are power structures in place, yada, yada, yada.
There were texts previously where this person said, like, yeah, let's go and make some sex work content with each other, you know, and then she had no reason of suspecting. She didn't make it 100% clear, you know, the Sasha person, that this person was consenting, but I think Sasha had a reasonable assumption to believe that that's consent. Now, granted, a lot of you may think that that's not enough, you know, that's not justification. You really should be making that extra effort. I just wouldn't go as far as to say that that's rape just because the other person, you know, didn't make their uncomfortable feelings known. But like I said, once we get into the video, I'll, you know, expand on the details.
When it comes to something like this, to where it's an act being recorded, it's pretty good to, well, just in general, but especially with this, it's pretty good to expressly say, hey, you're okay with this, right? Hey, you're okay with this, right? You're okay with this, right? I don't think there's any problem with that.
details here. So here's some more unfollow this alleged predator. So now I'm gonna get into the stuff that like Tally said. Here we go. I want to formally apologize to my fans. Many of you were excited to see my first collab with Sasha. I posted content with her, both of them on OnlyFans. Since then, I've deleted the photos and the videos. It pains me to share this, but I was raped. I was coerced into oral sex and pressured multiple times to participate in penetrative sex. Also, did they have penetrative sex, or was there pressure and it never happened?
There was pressure and it never happened.
Have to.
You would know if you watched the entire Keffals video, but you didn't, so.
I'll have to see. For those that have seen the footage, I am sorry. I wanted to, because if there was penetrative sex, then Sasha was just blatantly lying earlier. I wanted to give you, and I think oral sex is sex too, but whatever. I wanted to give you all the content you pay for and deserve. I feel like I have let down my fans and those who enjoy my content. The last few days haven't taken care of myself, and I've blocked a lot of the experience. Let it be known I'm not the only survivor. There are other people who have been taking advantage. I will not name them for privacy reasons. My boundaries were pushed multiple times. When I arrived at her home, he initially agreed to just taking photos. This is another thing that Keffals mentioned in her video. Now, Tally had mentioned in previous texts that she had agreed to go the full way, but once Tally arrived, Sasha, I just originally said like, Sasha was the one who said, I just want to do photos. It wasn't Tally that said to just do photos. Like, Tally agreed to it all. But Sasha had originally said, actually, I think I'm only going to do photos.
Wait.
And then it divulged into other stuff. And that's a whole complicated situation.
Wait.
Let's see. I was coerced into oral sex before and while filming. I disassociated throughout. I thought acting would make it go faster and easier. It was wrong. I made it clear to her that I did not want to touch her genitals. She asked me multiple times to participate in penetrative scenes, even if they were fake. Because, it's like...
There it is.
I'm playing it for the camera. I made it clear I was uncomfortable. I'm going to add an asterisk to that statement because you'll see why when we get there. After filming, I could not be separated from her. She watched me shower. That's another thing that's pretty weird and she shouldn't have done, but...
How many things have to be pretty weird for you to be like, okay, yeah, maybe there's something going on here? Because there's been a couple things where it's been, oh yeah, that's pretty weird. Oh, that's pretty weird. Oh, that's pretty weird. But you have yet to say that maybe something weird is going on here in general. How many things does it have to be?
Okay, so...
Rose has a literal fantasy regarding SA, so she enters herself into these things to gratify herself. I went over that at the start of the segment, but yeah, for people who are watching, who weren't here for the start of the segment, yeah, that is true. She has a rape fantasy, and it affects her view on multiple things, including this.
The statements from Tally, based on her side of the story.
Thanks for bringing it up, though, because I'm sure some people would need a reminder.
Right, being pressured into sex, it's really bad. It's really bad. It just blatantly is. But there's some statements that she makes in her interview that I want to go over. It doesn't surprise me. She's a bad person. She violated boundaries. One of the reasons I cut contact is because... So this is what Sora said. Obviously, we don't know much about that situation. Yeah, so... Now it says that Sasha apparently drove to this person's house through a burner number. If that's true, then that's like really stalkerish and gross. Yeah. Obviously the police are gonna deal with that, so... Yeah, I like I said, I want to focus on the Tally, because when it comes to the Sora situation and the T-girl Daniela situation, we don't know much about the Sora, but the situation about the fake burner, or the fake screenshots, or sorry, no, the burner account with the text about coming to her house, that's like undeniably creepy, and it does give...
How many things does it have to be to where it's like, oh, that's creepy, oh, that's weird, to where you can finally say that maybe this Sasha person is bad? How many things does it have to be? Because so far it's been a lot of things.
Credence to the whole story, but there are some holes in the Tally thing that I'm not really super comfortable with. First of all, I'm including this because the whole femboy stuff really bothers me. Full-time femboy, supposedly trans person. Am I gonna get canceled for saying I'm not really a girl? I don't know, the whole like trans baiting thing, the kind of like there's transphobic implications here. Like dressing up super femininely, calling yourself a femboy while somewhat presenting as trans, being transphobic to yourself if you are trans, calling yourself not really a girl, also playing into transphobic stereotypes and porn, and which fetishizes trans people. And I have an issue with all.
She is a porn actor. Of course, she like it's harmful to play into pornographic stereotypes, of course. However, you have to recognize the industry that she works in.
All of these freaking people for the porn thing. I'm just not a huge fan of it. And the whole sex work in general is just, I don't know. I don't think sex should be treated like a business, but I'll get to that.
Dog, what? I didn't think a lefty, a quote-unquote lefty, would come out as anti-sex work, but here we are, I guess. Me personally, I know sex work is real work. People who perform sexual acts as a job should be treated as workers, as they are. They sell their bodies and their time for the profit of the company and for the profit of themselves. That is work. Work is selling your body and your time and your labor to a company in order to gain something of monetary value. If sex work is not work, then I don't know what work is.
I was actually born female, guys. Okay, weird.
That's a funny tweet. I'm a really big fan of trans women doing the joke where it's like, I'm a cis woman. I think that's a really funny joke. That's just me though. But I recognize when a joke is a joke and when things aren't.
That's just
Never got
some weird, I don't know, kind of a gross comment about Margot Robbie. That's not consensual, kind of weird. Some weird fetish shit.
Yeah, you'd know a lot about unconsensual.
Yeah, just seems like a weird person. I don't know. Just
A rape fetishist calling other people weird is fucking crazy.
just saw those tweets and it kind of got like a weird vibe. But you know, just my opinion. Now we're actually gonna get into the Keffals video. And like I said, I'm not playing the full video, but I want to play a few short clips so you can kind of see what I'm getting at here. Alright, here's the first one.
No, she like has a whole plan. She wants to fuck Finster. That's why she's mutuals with him. And her end goal is to fuck Belle Delphine for the specific purpose of making money. That's it. What? Tally White. That's it. She's using people as collabs so that way she can get her all the way up to Belle Delphine.
Can I just acknowledge right here, okay? It's really freaking weird to be like, I want to fuck this famous person, and I'm gonna go through all these steps so that I can fuck this person. Like, regardless of the situation, right? Regardless of what.
I'm back.
Sasha's
Sorry for the
guilty or
Hassan
not,
stream.
the fact that Tally is out here being like, my goal is to have sex with this person who doesn't know I exist, and I'm going to go through all of these measures, go through all these other people. Like, imagine if someone did that in any other context, right? Like, there's this friend of yours, like, there's this hot person in your school, and then you go through your mutual friend who's like, friend's friend is that person you want to date or whatever. And you're really only friends with those people as a stepping stone to get to that person that you want to have sex with. I think that's legit creepy behavior, right? Can we agree on this? I just get really weird vibes from that whole thing.
She said this to me in person. She said it verbally. I do not.
It's a business. It's a business. It's a fucking business. I'm sorry. I wanted to not do.
No.
Okay. It is not a business.
Yes it is. Sex work is work, therefore a business. Sorry, liberal.
No, people are like, sex work is work, and that's
True.
like this whole thing. But I'm sick and tired of it, honestly. Okay? And this is the problem. This is why I don't think sex work should be treated like real work. Because if you bring like business contracts or working with people or working with
Whoa,
companies in the same way
what
you
the
treat
fuck?
people in their personal relationships, you get into like really weird situations like this where consent is just being treated in dollar values, or consent is being treated by clout, it's just really
Don't care plus L plus sex work is work.
bizarre, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. This is the first part of the video that it just like irked me personally, but anyway, let's continue because wow, here we go.
And I have messages that
I like how she treats her thinking sex work isn't a valid occupation as an own. Like that's not an own. That's you being fucking stupid.
will show
Oh,
that I
shit, dude.
consented to making penetrative and oral sex videos and photos. But what you will not hear, and this is the truth, is that when I arrived, I truly thought that I was being catfished or human trafficked based on what I had seen. I do not believe that Sasha looks like how she
Fuck you.
presents herself online. And I felt very intimidated and shocked. And I have met
Okay.
I was talking to the zombie, not to the victim. The idea that Belle Delphine cares about whether someone bangs Sasha or not is so dumb, as if Sasha is a smaller Pokemon trainer in Belle's porn gym.
Hold on.
That's a great interaction. Thank you for that.
See, this shit is wild. So she has many text messages where she admits to consenting with this person. And then she gets so startled that, quote unquote, her appearance doesn't match the photos that she...
Here's the thing. Consent can be revoked at any time, for any reason. At any time. Somebody can just be like, I don't wanna. And boom. There you go, consent is revoked. That's how it works. Consent can just be gone. For any reason. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care if you think it's a bad reason. What I care is about the safety of the people involved. And Sasha was not making a safe environment for the people involved in her in her rape. Sorry.
she posts online. It's just fucking bizarre. It's so fucking bizarre. And this is when I started to question everything. Like, this is really what this shit is about?
and I have messages that will show that I consented to making penetrative and oral sex videos and photos.
Consent can be revoked at any time.
But
There.
Fuck. Stop treating this like it's an own. You fucking stupid bitch. That's not an own. You're just not smart.
She consented to this.
She consented it in messages and then she withdrew consent. Is it that hard to understand?
But the issue isn't that she didn't want to have or engage with this behavior. She had made it verbal that she was interested in this sort of thing. The problem was, oh, you don't look like your pictures online.
Yes, and that is a valid reason to withdraw consent. If somebody catfishes you, it is a incredibly valid reason to withdraw consent. Like, let's say you're on Tinder. Let's say you're on Tinder, and I'll check out that meme after I rant about this. But let's say you're on Tinder, and there's a like perfect 10 out of 10 woman, and you swipe right, and she swipes right, and you match with her, and you show up there, and she doesn't look anything like what she looked like on her profile. That's a valid reason to withdraw consent. Hold on, let me check out this meme. Let me make sure it's stream safe. Oh, don't play the audio? Fuck. No audio. No audio. I'm a big fan of the format. Hold on, let me get like a MIDI. Let me get like a MIDI version. Oh, that's too close. That's too close. Fuck. Well. Oh yeah, that was my favorite part. The fucking soup mix. Everyone who watches Keffals smells like Lipton soup mix. That's my fucking favorite part. That's a great meme. It's a great meme. 10 out of 10. Hold on. There we go. Great meme. By the way, if you're watching this and you're not a part of the Discord, join the Discord. Link is in chat. Link is in chat. Let me get back onto the video.
Like that's what's going on here, and it's so insane. And I don't see anybody else talking about this. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Probably because you're delusional? I don't know, man. I don't mean man, and it... Fuck.
Right. So, it continues.
I felt in my head obligated to move forward with this. And in a way, I kind of pitied her because I didn't want her to think that I didn't want to hurt her feelings, you know, by saying I didn't want to move forward with it because of how she looked. I felt in my head obligated to move forward.
I think interacting with Rose Mulet any way other than telling her to go to therapy is a form of ableism. You know, fair enough, but I don't know why I'm operating on any sort of good faith at this point. I mean, it's obvious that she needs therapy, and she's a deeply harmed person. Just by taking a quick cursory look at her history online, her digital footprint, if you will. But I don't know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to too much, maybe even.
With this.
Can we talk about how shitty of a thing this is to do to somebody? To go on a public platform and just be like, oh, I think...
Can we talk about how shitty of a thing it is to do to rape somebody? I think personally that's worse. If we're talking harm done, I'm pretty sure rape is worse than exposing your rapist. I'm pretty sure one of these is worse than the other, but that's just me though, I guess.
I think you're ugly, and the photos you use on...
Sasha is ugly though. IMO. Sasha is not very attractive. I'm not being transphobic. I find a lot of trans women very attractive. Sasha's not one of them. She's not attractive. But that's just my personal taste.
Mine don't look anything like you. It's extremely misogynistic. I mean, how many times have we seen, like...
It's not misogynistic to acknowledge that you're being catfished, you dumb bitch.
Men do this on dating apps. Criticize...
Men do it on dating apps, and women do it as well. They fucking catfish each other all the time. It happens. Why is it not a problem? Or why is it a problem when Keffals exposes Sasha for raping a person and getting them to her place under false pretenses? How come that's not a problem? But catfish on dating apps is. If you're gonna die on the hill that catfishing is okay, actually, die on it properly.
Women for using filters and wearing makeup and lying to men about how they...
There's a difference between using filters and wearing makeup, and using filters to a point where it is deceptive, and that is what Sasha did. she is being deceptive with her use of filters. That's completely different. There's a huge difference between using a filter to maybe give yourself some blush, maybe smooth out your eyelashes a little bit, and to change the shape of your face. Huge difference.
They look. This whole behavior, I truly find to be very vile. And I can't in good faith side with any of it, right? Like, I sympathize with somebody, like, you know, the whole consent thing, like, you could, you know, for whatever, for any reason, just be like, hey, you know, I'm just not really interested.
But you're contradicting yourself, you dumb bitch! You piece of... Oh my god, you're contradicting yourself from like 30 seconds... Not even 30 seconds ago, but like 5 minutes ago. You fucking idiot. You're not very smart.
Right? But it's the fact that she shared photos of herself online before.
So the fact that she is a sex worker negates... Fun fact, according to Rose, if you are a sex worker, you can be raped.
Right? They knew each other. They knew about these kind of situations. Tally, who's the person being interviewed here, explicitly said that she agreed to this, you know, she agreed to these
Yes, she agreed to it on the phone, on text. Whenever she got to Sasha's place and saw how Sasha really looks, she was like, whoa, 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 come on now. That, like you said earlier, you can withdraw consent at any time for any reason.
Sexual actions and behaviors. And now internally she's having this feeling, but Sasha has no way of knowing that this is how Tally's feeling, right? I mean, if you listen to this, it's like, and it's easy to sympathize with somebody here, but really think about it, right? Internally, you're having these thoughts, but you're not expressing it outwardly. And if you're not expressing outwardly that you're not interested or whatever, and you can say, well, it's because you feel bad. Think of it this way. Sasha is not intentionally being deceptive. And if you think that, that's a mistake.
Yes, she is. She is purposely being deceptive about how she looks.
Misogynistic as fuck thing to think, by the way. Just letting you know.
No, it's an objectively true thing to think. Of course, this can be used in a misogynist way. Of course. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that, saying that women who use makeup are fooling you is a misogynist thing. However, when a person, not even necessarily a woman, but a person, a man, woman, non-binary person, whoever, is using makeup to conceal their appearance, or not using makeup, using filters and makeup, and extreme filters at that, to conceal their appearance, there's nothing wrong with calling that bad. Nothing at all.
She's not like lying or being deceptive. She has no
She is upfrontly lying and upfrontly being deceptive.
malicious intent here. And if you think that, that's insane, right? I just get such bad vibes from this whole thing. Such bad vibes. Alright, let's go.
In my mind, I had told myself, I'm here for work, this is business, and if I'm going to make it in this business, if I'm going to make it as an OnlyFans creator, this is what I have to do. I have to do things I don't want to. I told myself, I was convinced that I guess this is just how it is. I'm sure people feel this way when they do collaboration.
Okay, sorry for the 2x speed on this. Sorry for the 2x speed on this clip, but I highlighted this clip because to me, it really shows that the stuff Tally's dealing with here, it's all internal. This was never externalized, right? It's not Sasha's fault that she couldn't read Tally's mind. You know.
She said that she didn't agree to sex. She said it to Sasha. She said it upfrontly to her. God, like you dumb piece of shit.
You know, she had no reason to suspect that she was feeling this way. And it's like there's
She had every reason to, considering she was told.
valid point being had here, right? But in my eyes, I just feel like this is why porn is inherently exploitative, and a lot of people claim that.
God damn it. Fucking anti-sex work. She's just gonna bring it back to this one point the whole entire time, isn't she?
Like, well, OnlyFans isn't because you get to control your content and all that stuff. And, you know, I have a whole video on my main channel about why I don't personally believe that. But, like, situations like this, having this mindset to me just shows how toxic the porn industry really is. You know, because there are a lot of situations, even on OnlyFans, where people have these sorts of mindsets. I don't think that it should be encouraged on people. I don't think it should be normalized the way that it is. You know, I get that people are like low on money, but there's ways to have like healthy relationships, like getting a normal job, right?
You can be in the porn industry and have a healthy relationship. There's no such thing as a normal job. All jobs are just ways to sell your labor. That's it. That is really it.
That's, to me, it just seems wild.
And all jobs are exploitative. Almost all. The great majority of jobs are exploitative.
That, like, this is a big systemic societal problem about, you know, and it's an internal problem. It's a problem that she's having with herself. And Sasha had no way of knowing any of this. And yet it all gets, like, deflected onto her. And I don't think that that's
She was explicitly told.
right. And I think we should talk about it and call that out. Okay. Here is the next clip. I'm almost done with this, guys.
I was okay with taking photos naked. I was okay with spreading my ass and taking photos. I would have been okay with that. But I did not want to touch her. I did not want to do anything sexual.
Keep in mind that she originally was okay with it, and the only reason that she's not okay with the sexual stuff is
Because she was catfished by Sasha.
because she believes that she's not as attractive in real life as she is in the photos,
That is a valid reason to withdraw consent.
and was okay with consenting beforehand, but because of the deception of not being as attractive in the photos or whatever,
That is deception.
which I think is just also a really terrible thing for one trans girl to say to another trans girl. And that's the issue.
Not when it's true. If it wasn't true, then yeah, that would be a pretty bad thing to say to somebody. However, it is true, so.
Here. And again, she did not verbalize this at all. Sasha had no way of knowing that this is how she felt. Tally even admits that this was all kept internally. And yet Sasha is just supposed to know that Tally's uncomfortable.
Okay, let's assume that this was all internal. She was still raped. At the end of the day, she was still raped. She was still, at the very least, sexually assaulted. At the end of the day, it still happened, and it was still terrible. Even if she didn't speak up during the rape, it still happened to her. And that is what matters.
And this is a problem I see. When you hear a victim story, right? There's this level of sympathy, like, oh my god, you know, you felt pressure to do this, that's so wrong. But I feel like the anger is misplaced. The anger should be at the porn industry about, you know...
No, it should be at Sasha. However, there was nothing wrong at all with being mad at the porn industry, considering how historically bad it is, you know. But there is still room in our world for adult workers.
The way that people are, you know, encouraged to do these things, or the way that people are so focused on the money that they forget about morals and ethics or caring about yourself and consent. Because porn in general, when you're, you know...
Yeah, you know a lot about caring about consent.
You're giving up your consent for money, and you can consent to that, but, you know, you would not consent to having sex with these people if you weren't paid. I truly believe that there's no such thing as consensual porn.
Yes, there is.
Right? If you would not have had sex with that person, had there been no money involved, right? If you're not genuinely interested in that person, that's not really truly consent, you know? And it's just, situations like this are just so messy.
So, I would like to bring up, what if you are making porn and you're interested in the person? What then? Is it still not consensual? I would say it is. I would say it's consensual, even if you're not even necessarily interested in the person, as long as you gave consent. The fact that, the opinion that you have to be interested in somebody, like sexually attracted to somebody to have sex with them, may seem like, an upfront, kind of obvious thing. However, I used to think like that, and the more that you think about it, the more that you realize that it's kind of untrue. It's kind of just not a true thing.
With her. And did I share that? No.
Did I share that? No. So how is Sasha supposed to know? How is she
Yeah, fucking, whenever a person is okay, under this logic, whenever a person is being raped, if they don't say, hey, could you please stop raping me? They didn't get raped. Sorry, victim. You didn't get raped according to Rose's logic. Sorry.
supposed to know? Why is she getting framed as this evil rapist?
Because she is.
I feel like I'm going crazy.
And did I share that? Sexual with her. I was okay with taking photos naked. I was okay with spreading my ass and taking photos. I would have been okay with that. But I did not want to touch her. I did not want to do anything sexual with her. And did I share that? No. The truth is, I didn't share that.
And again, I just want to be clear, because some of you are going to take me saying this, right? And you're going to interpret it the wrong way. If this was a normal situation and somebody did not say no, and they just assumed that the person would consent, then that is rape. If there is no...
So what's the fucking difference?
No indication that the person would consent, there's no verbal agreement, the issue here is that she did consent.
Yeah, and then she withdrew consent immediately whenever she saw Sasha.
She did give implications that she was interested. Could Sasha have been more upfront? Could Sasha have made it more clear? Could Sasha have asked more questions? Yeah.
Yes. That is objectively the only way to think about this correctly.
That could happen, right? But I'm not going to call somebody a rapist for not asking, dude, are you okay with having sex with me? Hey,
I am. I'm gonna call them a rapist for not asking, hey, is this interaction okay? Is this sexual interaction okay with you? I'm gonna call them that.
hey, is it okay to have sex with me right now? Every 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Every 5 seconds is weird. I think she's kind of shifting the goalpost here to make her point seem more reasonable. But it's just not working because her point isn't reasonable in the slightest.
Do not think that Sasha had any way of knowing. I don't think Sasha acted maliciously. I don't think it's fair to call her a rapist in this situation. In other situations, maybe there's not enough evidence. There's some factors to think that maybe she was in the wrong in certain other situations. In this case, I do not believe so. All right, let's go.
Yes, I had agreed. I have text messages saying that I wanted to participate in oral and penetrative sex. However,
do I need to say anything? Do I need to say anything? I mean, like...
Is she just gonna say the same shit over and over again? Like, I committed to the bit that I'd watch the whole video, and damn am I regretting it right about now.
Like I said, I'm gonna repeat the same thing again, because it needs to be clear.
Oh, yep, she is.
Clear to you guys. Hypothetically speaking, you could be more clear. You could ask more questions. But when somebody literally shows up to your house saying, hey, can I come to your house and do an OnlyFans collaboration where we have sex together on camera? And the person's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm cool with that. And they give a pretty clear indication of that. you can't be surprised
Oh shit.
when someone assumes that you're okay with it, you know? If there was any indication of non-consent, if there was
Sexual consent isn't something that should be assumed. It should be known.
any indication of not being cool with it, had Tally vocalized these feelings, then, you know, that could have prevented the situation. There wouldn't be a misunderstanding. There wasn't malicious behavior here. You come over to somebody's house knowing that you're going to engage in sexual acts for the sole purpose of engaging in these sexual acts, and you do not come forward and share your feelings of uncomfortability. You do not give any indications that you feel uncomfortable, and then you frame her as a rapist.
She's not being framed as a rapist. She is a rapist.
I'm gonna get so much hate. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from people. But this is insane. This is insane. Okay, so we're almost done here. But I just want to highlight these texts towards the end. Okay, here we go. Sasha is just this really insecure girl who's like obsessed with me for some reason. She's like terminally online. I rejected her because she's like totally unattractive and looks nothing like her pictures. I was nice about it.
Boom, bitch.
So you're calling her totally unattractive. You're accusing her of lying about her picture. I mean, that's just... Here's my opinion, okay? I truly think that insulting somebody's appearance is like the lowest blow. Like the worst thing that you could say to somebody.
She's not insulting her appearance. She's saying she was misleading about her appearance. That being said, Sasha isn't exactly the prettiest person alive.
I mean, outside of like racism, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, and all that stuff, I truly believe people that make fun of people's appearances are like the lowest blow.
She's not making fun of her appearance. She's saying Sasha is misleading with her appearance. If she was making fun of her appearance, that would maybe be a little bit of a point. However, that's just something that didn't happen.
It's disgusting, really. I have no respect for these sorts of people. And you say all these nasty things, and then it's like, I don't know. If you want to communicate, here's all that Tally had to do. All Tally had to do was be like, hey, you know, I changed my mind, you know, I know I said that I wanted to do this, but, you know, thinking about it, I'm not sure if I really feel comfortable collaborating with other people. You know, it's not you. I'm not sure. And then Sasha would have been like,
Whoops.
oh, yeah, that's, I'm sorry. No, that's understandable. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable in any way. Oh, that's all that needed to happen. And to me, that's much more of a, hey, maybe you should look in and think to yourself and express your feelings in a way. Like, if you don't want to hurt other people, you don't have to say, like, obviously it'd be really fucking stupid to be like, I think you're a catfish and you're lying about your pictures. Like, obviously no. All you need to say is, hey, you know, I've never done this sort of collaboration before. You know, I thought I'd be okay with this, but like being here,
Let me look this
I'm
up.
just really nervous and I don't think I can do it. Like, I'm really sorry, but I can't do this. It's not you. I don't want you to feel any sort of way. I thought I was ready for this kind of thing, and I'm not. That's all you need to fucking do. You're not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. And by the way, just so you know, if you say that and Sasha responds like, oh, you know, but it'll be, you know, we can do this, you know? I was just really looking forward to this. Like, why don't you wanna? Oh, is it me? Like, how do you, if she starts doing any of that shit and tries to make you feel guilty and tries to pressure you and manipulate you, then that's a fucking red flag you need to run. In that case, you say that, you make your feelings heard in a way that's not gonna insult the other person, and she still pressures you, and she still wants to continue that sexual thing after you've said that, then that's like fucking cut and dry. That's blatant as day, like, yeah, Sasha would be extremely in the wrong. But that's not what happened. I just, like, if you're watching this, I think people just need to learn to advocate for themselves. And I don't like victim blaming, and I don't think it's somebody's fault if they don't
God damn it. I can't find anything about how to get to the mining dimension. Anyways.
advocate for themselves. My issue is just framing somebody else as like an evil rapist when it's kind of...
But they are evil and a rapist. I don't think Sasha's evil. I just think she's a rapist. Which, kind of splitting hairs, but, you know.
Yeah, and it's like a call-out post, kind of like, hey, you shouldn't associate with this person. This person's bad news. I mean, like I said, if you ever find yourself in a situation like this is how I would recommend responding in the future. It's just a much healthier outlook, a much healthier way to solve these problems. And you're gonna find that people are going to, you know, there's not a ton of super malicious people in the world. Obviously, there's some fucking evil people in the world.
Let's see.
But 9 times out of 10, it's gonna help you. You know, maybe a decent chunk of times, there are going to be people out there who will not respect you. And if somebody does not respect you, value yourself and get out of the situation. I'm not gonna blame you. I'm not gonna, you know, look at you any differently. I'm not gonna because I understand it's hard. It's hard. And that's the thing, and that's what sucks about this. But I really hope that we send the right message to people. I don't know. I think that if we have honest conversations societally about these things, and we don't focus on the call outs, but instead we have conversations about like, hey, this is what's going on, it'd just be a better society. Instead of calling certain people evil and, you know, isolating them. And also...
But what if they are evil? What if they are? What if they just are evil?
With this person being trans. There's the transphobic narrative. There's the turfy thing. It reminds me so much of TERFs claiming that trans women are pressuring them into sex. Literally, this person shared none of this and had no way of knowing that you felt this way. Plus, you literally agreed to do a porn collab. Holy shit, I'm so fucking sorry for Sasha. And that's the thing. A lot of freaking TERFs will have like sex with a trans woman, and you know they consent to it. They're fine with it. But then like months later, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I felt like I was pressured."
So now she's shifting her argument to saying that this other trans woman is a TERF, actually. At least be consistent.
Because I had all these internalized feelings of, you know, and I felt like if I didn't do this, I was transphobic. And, you know, I feel like the genitals, I'm just not attracted. It's hard to explain, but if you've seen these posts, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with not being attracted to a person with a certain set of genitals. The only way that would be wrong is if you don't recognize their womanhood or manhood because of the genitals that they were born with.
But it's like these TERFs clearly consent at the time, clearly are fine with it, but later on, when they become transphobic, when they hit the rabbit hole, they're like, oh, I had sex with this trans woman and she's a rapist now, retroactively, because I'm a lesbian and pre-op trans women aren't real women, those aren't real parts, and I didn't want to be seen as a bigot if I didn't do this, even though I never expressed these feelings and I seemed like I was... That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Honestly, TERFs are just... they're crazy. And they're just evil, vile people. Transphobic, spreading propaganda to try to get rid of...
Got it. Keffals, the trans woman who has politically ran in the Communist Party of Canada, is transphobic.
All of our basic human rights. Let's finish this, because I'm almost done with this freaking video. It's going to be the longest Rose Mulet Deluxe video. This is like almost a main channel length video. Can you believe that? I wonder if I should upload it to the main channel. Probably not going to, actually. But I don't know. Then she proceeds to insult her appearance. I was nice about it. But like, just getting rejected, she's had a grudge against me ever since. I think deep down, she knew the reason was because she was ugly. Oh my God, I felt pretty bad. You don't feel bad if you're calling her ugly. You don't feel bad if you're just saying all this shit.
Oh,
I think she got really jealous that I became really popular and successful so quickly. I don't know. Just insulting her appearance and then calling, and this is fucking what I hate about people. I fucking hate it. They'll say the nastiest shit in the world, and then they'll be like, but I was just being nice. Like, you guys know the nice guy Reddit phenomenon?
How are these things related at all? She's just going off on a huge tangent for no reason. These things just aren't related, just at all.
Like, you know, like some guy is just like, oh, how dare you eat, oh, you terrible, ugly bitch. I was such a nice guy. And it's like, no, you weren't fucking nice, you fucking liar. That was very much a not nice thing to do. And you saying that proves that you're actually a pretty shitty person. I get similar vibes here. And here's the transphobia, heavy turf vibes. Honestly, I feel bad for her. Girl is bricked hard. Plus, you want to know the saddest thing about her? This is just so vindictive and like petty and shit. Girl is like, if you don't know the term brick is like a term kind of like hun, like kind of like a trans girl who has very masculine features and doesn't pass and like looks like a man. She's bricked, like a prominent jawline or an Adam's apple, or just doesn't pass that well. So she's just insulting her, and this is what I fucking hate: trans girls insulting other trans girls for saying they don't pass. I have no respect under any circumstance. I don't fucking care who the trans woman is. If you're insulting a woman being like, oh, she doesn't pass, she looks like a man, and that's just evil. That's just pure evil. It's pure transphobia, and there's no justification. None.
Sorry, this gameplay isn't very interesting. I'm just kind of looking through all these mods.
None. So, that's the situation. And I do acknowledge the shower thing. I want to acknowledge I didn't play the clip. I didn't want to play too many clips from the video.
Yeah, because then it would ruin your narrative.
Video is kind of long enough as it is. But in Keffals' video, she mentions that after the whole thing, she asked if they could film some shower scenes, and Lily said no, and Sasha was like, okay. And then she went in the shower, and then apparently Sasha was like watching her in the shower. That's really weird.
How many things? Again, how many things does it have to be before you can finally admit, where it's like, oh yeah, this is bad.
That is pretty yikesy. I don't know why you would watch somebody in the shower. Like, I get you just had sex previously, and to your knowledge, it was consensual. But it wasn't even the sense of like Lily was saying that she didn't want. It was more like, oh, do you want to do the shower scene? And she was like, nah, I just want to take a shower, you know. And I don't know. Maybe Sasha felt like hurt, but even if she did feel hurt or whatever she was feeling,
I don't give a fuck if the rapist feels hurt by their victim. I care that the victim is safe.
There's no maybe hurt by like the not wanting to film the shower scene thing. There's no excuse to like watch somebody naked. Like, I get you just like had sexual scenes together, so you feel like more connected. Like, watching each other naked isn't really that much of a problem, or you know, as much of a problem as it would be if you didn't do that previously. But still, it just feels like an invasion of privacy, and I feel like Lily should have said something like, hey, you shouldn't watch me in the shower. But even then, it's like, I don't know, you shouldn't have to be told not to watch somebody in the shower. To me, that's the most icky thing of that night. And you know, this person, Sasha, clearly has done other things that are pretty yikesy, which should give credence to this whole thing. But I like to evaluate situations on their own. And for the vast majority of the situation, I truly do believe that Sasha did not act intentionally in the wrong. She wasn't being malicious or deceptive.
Yes, she was.
Truly believe that it was just kind of a misunderstanding, and she had no way or reason.
Oh, I truly believe that every single little bit of evidence that is stacked against her and stacked against her and stacked against her and stacked against her, that has come out and proven that she is, at the very least, a serial sexual assaulter, and most probably a rapist. Almost definitely a rapist, even. How many things does it have to be before you can finally say, okay, maybe this person is bad? It shouldn't be this many. It really shouldn't. There shouldn't be thing on thing on top of thing on top of thing on top of thing that you have to concede when making an argument. It should be, okay, this thing is weird, this thing is weird, this thing is weird. and maybe this person isn't a very good person. It shouldn't be constant just concede. If you're doing that, maybe your argument is flawed and maybe you're fucking stupid.
Reason to know that there wasn't consent going on here. If you disagree, please comment below. I feel like I evaluated the situation really thoroughly.
No, you didn't.
I think I'm gonna end it here actually. We're like 47 minutes into this now. I hope you guys liked the video. I might record another one in a bit, but this one was honestly so long that I might just leave it at this for today. Comment below what you want me to cover on the deluxe channel, because I want to pump out a lot of videos. I want to cover, you know, events and give my own takes on things. And this channel allows me to just freely post things, not worry about how many views, and just kind of share my thoughts in a much more long form way. So please subscribe to this channel if you like the video, you like the content, you like the perspectives. And also remember, I have a main channel where I publish much more highly edited videos. So like this video doesn't have any cuts. I, you know, want to get everything live. I'm cutting everything I'm doing in the studio. Whereas the videos I post on my main channel, they're all like pre-recorded. They're all like, you know, heavily edited. So it's just a different style. And if you like these videos,
Man, I hope to God her like actual legit videos are somewhat better than these pieces of shit. Because wow, if this is what her actual content is like too, damn. This is just damn.
you'll probably like those videos. I'm really experimenting out. Please support the channel, sub to this channel, sub to my main channel, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Comment below if you disagree, and I will gladly have a conversation with you. And we can gladly talk about this. If you think I'm wrong, please be polite in the comments section, and we can have a civil discussion about this. All right, thank you, Rose Midlight. Bye.
There's no reason to be polite with a person who has taken every single opportunity available to discredit the allegations, the pretty well backed allegations, may I add, of a woman who has been sexually assaulted. There's no reason to be kind to her. And I think if you are being kind to her, you are incredibly stupid. You are giving her too much credit for her arguments, which were poorly made, to say the least. I just think, honestly, call me misogynist. I think she's just a dumb bitch. I think she's just a dumb white bitch. That's really as far as it goes. I mean, of course it goes further than that, but at the end of the day, I think this is a very deeply disturbed woman. Well, I know this is a very deeply disturbed woman. And on top of that, I think she is a deeply stupid woman. Of course, her stupidity has nothing to do with her being a woman. I'm not sexist, but her stupidity has nothing to do with her being a woman. However, she is very stupid. Just like Sasha's sexual abuse and rape has nothing to do with her being trans, as she tried to say earlier. She tried to say that Keffals is just pinning a horrible crime, a horrible thing to do to another person, on a trans person because they're trans. Which is just deeply untrue. She is pinning a terrible person with a terrible crime because that terrible person has evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence of her doing that crime. Rose, you are a piece of shit. I hope you see this video. I hope you see it. And I hope you watch it to the end. You are a piece of shit. You are a terrible human being. I hope to God that you can someday find help, find peace within yourself, find any sort of, and do any sort of deep reflection. It's very obvious that you need it. You deserve every single little thing that's happened to you as of right now. You deserve the harassment. You deserve the hate train being run on you. And frankly, you deserve to be locked into a therapy cell where you cannot escape until fucking they say that, okay, she's normal now. I have a deep hatred for you that has developed over these last couple of days. And I hope to dear God that you can find it in yourself to help yourself and to not continue your life like this. Because frankly, it doesn't have to be like this. You can help yourself. And sure, it's hard sometimes, but you can still do it. And you should do it. Because you are a stupid bitch who is doing rape apologia as an excuse, and possibly even due to your intense rape fetish. Shame on you, you terrible human being. Anyways, that's the end of segment 1. Yeah. Segment 1 was an hour and a half. Oh my god. And we have 2 more things to watch. One of which is an hour long. Oh. 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 Oh, why do I do this to myself? But, whew. That's a go. Oh, man. This is gonna be my longest stream. Man. I honestly, I just hate myself right now for doing this to myself. But, I really dislike that I've done this to myself. I've, punished myself, I guess, to talking for a long period. But anyways, let me hit record. Alright. Let me make sure that everything works here. Alright. And, you know, thank y'all for, coming in. Stream's not— oh, what the fuck are you? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the Stream's not over. Stream's far from over. Alright. Time for segment 2. Nick is Not Green is a popular drama YouTuber who, in all honesty, I've watched a good amount of his content. For better or worse, in this case for worse. And this is the video I did pre-watch. However, I didn't really pre-watch it. I kind of had it on in the background and got mad at it. So that's where we are. But for those of you who don't know, Super Mega either is, or maybe at this point was, a Let's Play and variety channel headed by 2 people, Matt Watson and Ryan McGee. And recently, one of their ex-employees, Don Durr, the channel artist, has come under fire for sexual assault. Rightfully come under fire, for sexual assault, because he did it. He did that shit. But it seems like somewhere along this, the allegations have not necessarily lost steam, but lost track of whoa, what did I kill? Have lost track. It seems that another ex-employee of the Super Mega Boys, known as Leighton Strawlard, has allowed his personal vendetta against Super Mega to greatly influence this terrible situation. God damn, what the fuck is going on? Oh man. But back to 100? Okay, I'm clearly just not ready to fight this thing. But along with this happening, drama YouTuber Nick is not Green, or in this case, Green is not Nick. Let me full screen. Has released a video responding to Matt's response. Matt was not the person doing the sexual assault. The sexual assault happened at his house. And, of course, this comes with a degree of responsibility when it comes to handling such things that Matt, self-admittedly, didn't handle well. However, with that being said, there is a lot of dishonesty in this video that I know of, and maybe I'll think of some more as time goes on. But there is a large amount of dishonesty going on here against Matt Watson of Super Mega. And hopefully we can all enjoy that. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm still a bit woo after that last segment. But let's go.
A few days ago, I made a video about a friend of mine by the name of Lex, putting out a video about her experience with Super Mega and 2 of their employees, including a sexual assault that took place at Matt Watson's house. I would watch that video first, if you haven't, or else this one's not going to really make that much sense. Again, this is going to be a video that's not the normal kind of stuff we talk about, but I did talk about on Saturday how I was going to make a follow-up to this video, and I want to stick to my word, so let's talk about it. Since my last video, a response from Super Mega and one of their employees has come out, and the public perception of this story is much different than it was a couple days ago. Not only that, but my personal coverage of the story has caused Matt and several of his fans to say false things about me. So I want to clear up some questions and comments that have been thrown my way and try to address them in a way that I personally think is fair. One of the reasons I wanted to make this video is that on Matt Watson's response video, he claimed that close friends of Leighton were suddenly using Lex's video to capitalize off of her story.
A lot of people, mainly Leighton and his close friends, have used this as an opportunity to capitalize off of what was initially someone's story of sexual assault. It seems like the story lost its plot and quickly devolved into a dogpile on me and Ryan.
And because of this, I want to be clear about why I made this video. I said it in the first video, and I'll say it again. I wanted Lex's story to be told. That's my priority. I was never...
Okay, in that case, the statement isn't directed at you. I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think, that if a statement is made and it does not apply to you, then the statement was not directed at you. If you have concrete proof, which as a person who's watched this video, he doesn't, that the statement was directed at you, this would be entirely different. However, you have no proof of this.
Never once told by Leighton to make a video in any of the situation. I've had zero contact with him. I am not a close friend of Leighton's. I've only hung out with him a couple of times, and it was always in a social setting. And when Lex was preparing her story, I was given permission by her to cover it. It was never something that I suggested to Lex, but when she mentioned it, I decided to share her story because she's a friend of mine. I'm not trying to capitalize off of my friend's sexual assault. I never monetize videos like these, and I don't believe that these videos are posed as like great advertisements for my channel. I do not have a secret agenda to my videos. I own 100% of my channel, and I have 0 employees who affect my posts. Covering serious stories is not something I enjoy doing, and when Matt insinuates that I was just told by...
Where did he say that explicitly or even implicitly. Oh, whoa. Hello. Nope, I'm good.
His ex merch designer to make this video about Super Mega. I can't help but feel like he's also trying to discredit other stories that I've told in the past. The stress of like talking publicly about the pain that a friend of mine feels, especially when so many people are discounting her story, it's not a fun thing to do. I'm not like having a great time over here spending 2 videos in a week trying to talk about the shit that they did. My intention with this video was only to tell Lex's story, and I will say, I do have some issues with the way I covered the story on Saturday. I do regret taking focus away from Lex's story to add context that I initially thought was necessary, but in hindsight, I regret including it, and I wish to correct that in today's video. Regardless, I find it pretty disgusting that Matt would spend 45 minutes trying to show how unfair this treatment has been for—
So he's like, he does, in all fairness, he does correct what he said, later in the video. Well, correct, quote unquote, what he said later in the video. However, you know, it'd be pretty nice if he could just, you know, do it right in the moment and say, hey, here's where I was wrong, instead of just backloading all the places where he was wrong to where people won't really watch the video.
For him, but then he claims without any evidence that I just made my video because his disgruntled ex-employee told me to.
Where did he claim you did that? He claimed people were profiting, or not necessarily profiting, but benefiting off of the sexual assault. He said that they were benefiting off of it. He never said that you, explicitly you, were using this. He said other people were, which, to my knowledge, is completely true.
Does Matt think that that's all it takes to get me to make a video about something? I know it's easy to just throw shit up when your channel's not doing great and you only really want to post American Truck Simulator Let's Plays, but I have a real job with a real schedule that I keep up for my audience, and I don't make videos for personal vendettas. I don't see how—
Damn, that's crazy. You know, I'm pretty sure y'all are on a— when it comes to content creation, I'm pretty sure you're all on a very equal scale, you know? You're both YouTubers. You just happen to make a different genre of video. Pretty sure you're all on a very equal scale.
How in this situation, I am possibly capitalizing off of a victim's story. I think Matt does make a lot of interesting points in his apology that we will talk about today. But I think that this claim that he kind of ends his response with is extremely in bad faith, and it makes me question his true intentions with all of the claims he's making. But why don't we continue? That's towards the end of his response. I want to reverse back to where we were before. Since my last video, 3 videos from Super Mega have come out, and it has changed the way that people are viewing the initial story in a pretty big way. On the subreddit, we went from posts about Matt being a rape apologist and getting punched in the face, and then suddenly we have posts that say things like, I think people went way too far and Matt and Ryan didn't deserve a lot of the hate they received. And
yes, because you know who did deserve the hate? The fucking rapist. The person who sexually assaulted the other person. Matt and Ryan obviously handled it poorly. Nobody's arguing they didn't. But Adon, the actual person who did it, is getting away relatively scot-free. And you can say, oh, it's because Matt and Ryan have a platform. Fucking Don has a platform too. You could harass him and you would be in the right too. Fucking, it's really that easy.
on Lex's video, we suddenly have countless hateful comments that suddenly have mass amounts of likes, accusing her of lying, ruining Super Mega's career for no reason.
That of course is wrong. People who are doing that, boo them, they're bad.
And it all comes off as pretty gross. I think when the video initially happened, there were a lot of close fans of Super Mega who felt betrayed and hurt, and there were a lot of people who kind of did want to support them along the way, but kind of just stayed a little bit more quiet because of what was going on. But the moment that they both made their apologies, it seems like all these people came out of the woodworks and didn't just talk about exactly what Matt said, didn't just convey his points in a mature way, but there's a lot of people who have immediately turned around and claimed that Lex has lied about the whole thing, which makes me wonder if they even watched the response video in the first place. You'd think based off...
Yeah, people who are saying that, assuming that there are people who say that, because I'm not really ready to be charitable to that. Assuming that there are people who say that, they are of course in the wrong. They are of course stupid, and they did of course not watch the video.
Of a lot of these comments that Super Mega has completely resolved themselves and maybe some crazy shit happened and Lex devised an evil plan to cancel Super Mega, but surprise, it's a lot more nuanced than that. I don't know why people think
it's a lot more nuanced than that. Now let me proceed to have absolutely zero nuance with what I'm saying.
That victims always want to just be like super villains, and that's like that's their only goal. Like they're not actual damaged and hurt people on the inside, and that
who is saying that? Nobody.
It's not me excusing some of the things we're going to talk about in this video, but I do think people were a little bit too quick to come out and support Matt and Ryan just because they agreed that they were pieces of shit in some of these circumstances. So my plan for this video is to touch on each response separately in chronological order to how they were released, and then I want to talk about how I could have done better in my coverage of the story, as well as what I think about their stories, and where we can conclude with a lot of this. I do want to know your guys' honest thoughts in the comments. I please ask you to respond in a mature way after watching the entire video. If you do want to watch any of the videos we talk about, I'm going to put them in the links down below. I think it is helpful context to hear everything everyone has to say. Okay, so pretty soon after I posted my video on Saturday, Jim, the producer slash employee of Super Mega who kissed Lex in the story from the original video, he came out with an apology. This apology came in a tweet that he tweeted out that included a link to an unlisted video. So already a very weird look when trying to apologize by making your video unlisted, so you need a link to see it and you can't search it up anywhere. Of course, I'm gonna include I'll include the original link, I guess, in the description if you want to see it. But obviously what Jim...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's universally considered that his apology was not good.
did was embarrassing, and he should feel awkward about it. But let's give a brief overview of his apology.
About a year ago, as mentioned in her video, July 4th, 2022, I made her feel extremely uncomfortable with my actions.
Jim starts this video by saying, you know, apologizing for making Lex feel uncomfortable, and comes up with a interesting point, saying that he was sexually assaulted when he was younger, and once he heard about this, he was so hurt because he said, if I made Lex feel the way that I felt when I was sexually assaulted, then I'm truly sorry.
For that, I take full responsibility for that.
Whoa.
In college, at a party, I was raped by a man. And that's something that will sit with me for the rest of my life. If I ever made Lex feel a tiny bit like how I felt that morning after, I'm never gonna, I won't ever fucking forgive myself.
It does come off, and a lot of people would agree that it was a little bit out of nowhere. I mean, obviously it's related to the incident, but when you're the person making someone else uncomfortable, I think it's more important for the apology to come first. A lot of people kind of noted this in the comments of the public one, saying that it took him a minute and 25 seconds to make this about himself. Jim's too much of a coward to keep this up himself. Very sorry I got caught energy. There were also moments where Jim was, I guess, crying in the video, or like trying to seem like he's crying, but it was, I don't know, it's very odd.
I distinctly remember, like, so cringe. I distinctly remember saying, how hard is it to ask for consent? All you have to do is say, can I have a kiss? And then I said, can I have a kiss? And she said,
Honestly, I think I'm gonna do a midstream segment scrap.
yes.
I just don't really have a lot to say here. I'm kind of just doing an XQC. What I am gonna do is stop recording. Whoa. Yeah, I just don't really have a lot to say here, and I think it's... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just don't really think I have a lot to say here, and I think it's coming off as a bad segment. But, honestly, man, I'm really tired. I think I'm gonna end stream. 'Cause shit, it's 11. You know? Yeah. I think that's it. I might stream later in the week. Just to make up for